Hey Joe, chat shit, get done.
Yeah, chat shit, get banged, get zanged. Chat shit, get zanged. Yeah, he's funny, Zhang. Zhilei Zhang. You know, obviously, JoJo doesn't chat any shit. He's very, likable guy. You know, he doesn't need that fake beef stuff. And that was one of the things that was good about this. There was no need for no fake beef, huh? Nonsense, pushing, shoving. These were respectful guys. Yeah, you got to see in the eyes, man. They were serious and wanted to do some damage. But there's none of that nonsense. And that's refreshing, you know. They both came across as good guys. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a bit sad this morning getting up. You know, the juggernaut has been derailed, if you like. There's a burst tyre. It's crashed into the side of the road. And it somewhat, you know, the jugger Chad, can he be called a Chad now? Been put in his place by the Chinese Chad, Zhilei, Big Bang Zhang, you know. Chinese Power One, Chinese Chadness. And whether or not Zhang was manufactured in a lab with his enormous head and his huge fists, but he done the business. He done the business. You know, and I was, but you know, I like the Big Bang very much as well. You know, I like Big Bang and Joyce. No homo. But you know, someone has to lose. I'm glad the fight happened, even though I was a bit like, I like both these guys. But no, you know what? I'm glad the fight happened. You know, and we had a good heavyweight fight. I say good. I mean, you know, was Joyce ever in it? I still believe he was in it because of his gutsiness, and his relentlessness and come forwardness. But it just didn't work this time. He came across a brick wall, the wall of China. Yeah. Chinese power, and Chinese power won. And I was, you know what, I was quite excited when it happened. I was like, okay, now we might get an upset here. Even after the first round, we might get an upset here. And then the ice was up. I'm like, shit, I might be winning because I put up £5 on originally, like early in the week, Joyce to win on points. I thought the big man was tough enough to go the distance. And then when I seen the shape Zhang was in, for him he was in very good shape, and a lot of people were talking and they were going, yeah, maybe you know Zhang's worth a bet in the early rounds, you know, because Joyce starts slowly and he does. And he did that again. He gets caught early, and I was like, you know what? It's worth a little bet on. You could get 25 to 1 Zhang rounds 1 to 6. 25 to 1. That dropped to 14 to 1 by fight time, by the way. But 25 to 1 it opened up at. And I'm sure I put a fiver on it. Yeah, I remember going to that price, going, yeah, it's worth a little joke, a fun fiver. I don't expect it to come true, but it's worth a fun fiver. Yeah? And I can't find it. And also I had a free bet, a £10 free bet. I also put that on the Big Bang by KO. I got 10 to 1 at that point. I can't find it, bruv. And he'd be like, how can you not find a bet, you're a retard? I got like 45 betting accounts, yeah. I've been using it as a side hustle to make some money because I've had my YouTube money taken away. So, you know, I always bet and make money from it. But I've got this, like, you know, if you sign up to all of them and get free bets with all of them, and then by the way, it's hard work and it's a pain in the ass. They've all got different terms and conditions, and sometimes they mess up, sometimes you mess up. But you know, it's managed to get me a bit of cash. But yeah, I can't find it. You know, and I'm starting to think, oh no, blood. I had a slight memory that when I tried to put the 25 to 1 fiver on, it just wasn't going through, and I was like, oh, I'll do it later, and I didn't. I can't quite remember because some of these things I did late at night when I'm a bit tired, and then the 10 to 1, I remember putting that in the basket, and then boom, and I've got a slight feeling that it was the free bet just wasn't being confirmed, it wasn't going in, and I wasn't in the, you know, sometimes you got to get in touch with it on the web chats, and you talk for ages with some retard. You know, you start off with the bots and you talk with a retard. So often a woman as well. You can see their names. I've chatted some of them up, by the way. Just for fun, man. Hey, lovely name. Hey, Jessica. Hey, great. They was real polite. I go, Jessica, how are you? And they go, yes, really well. How are you? I'm like, I'm really good. I said, I really like your name. You got a lovely name. I've always liked the name Jessica. I said, oh, thank you very much. You make me blush. But, yeah. Probably get, you know, I don't get too creepy, but you know, there's nothing wrong with a bit of flirtationness. But yeah, so I can't find his bets. So I went from thinking I'd won £200 on that of £15 to now having lost £5 on Joyce. I lost £50 on Itama stoppage, and yeah, so I'm a bit bitter. I did find I got one free bet, £1 free bet on Bet365 to put it on Zhang 1-6, but that had dropped 14-1, so I got £14. So essentially I've only lost £5, but I should be like £200 up, blood. So I'm extremely bitter at that. £200 is not. I can't rub my nose at £200, man, in my financial situation. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, so I'm a bit gutted about the bets, but and I enjoyed the fight. An upset is always good for boxing because people get bored of predictable fights. And the press has done its usual thing. Oh, Zhang was a 10-1 underdog. No, he wasn't. The best you get was 6-1. The price on Joyce was 10-1 on, because there's always a betting margin. Why do they always misquote prices? I know they want the dramatic story, but it's so disingenuous. I hate journalists. They're always full of shit. And they think they're like a specific breed. They're Elliot Warsaw, who I'm going to have to rinse because he stepped out of line and got cocky, as well as doing the lamest interview, the fluff job, on Ayala. Yeah, so he's going to have me taken care of. Yeah, Elliot. Yeah, I hope you're listening, blood. Your oil driller. Yeah. He oil drilled David Hay, sister, while he was writing a book on David Hay. So he's done well out of the Hay family. Yeah, he's got money. Yeah, he got a job out of it, and he got some pum-pum. So I can't disrespect that. But anyway. Yeah, so the fight, I mean, from the beginning, from the first round, I was actually cannot get out of the way of that left hand. And it was thrown straight, mostly. Boom, boom, right on his face. Yeah, but he threw in a couple of uppercuts and hooks, the big bang, and his timing was good. He waited. He didn't waste shots, any shots. Joyce always wastes a lot of shots, but he throws so many, it kind of works for him. But the bang would just wait. And he had his chin tucked in and his gloves up. And it's almost like, I thought, has Joyce had any southpaw sparring? I'm thinking Israel Salas. He doesn't convince me anyway. You get all these American trainers who just talk big. I'm an American. I've trained such and such. I'm a great trainer. It's blood clot. The fighters make the trainers' names mostly. The trainers that are most important are the trainers when you're young and you're in the amateur gym and you're learning the balance, being relaxed, footwork, that kind of thing. They're the real important trainers. Huh? When the guys are teenagers and stuff like that. By the time they're turning pro, they know about boxing, Huh? Some dwarf called Ishmael Salas, whatever his name is, ain't going to teach you nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if Ismail didn't even know that Zhang was a southpaw. He seems retired. Oh yeah, shit, damn, my alarm just went. That's to remind me, I'm going to go to church. I'm in church for a bit. Yeah, it was Easter recently. I call out some false preachers and prophets, man. I've done it before, man. I've been in a church and the priest on her knees praying, and you're like, pray for the poor members of the LGBT community who are being persecuted. I was like, whoa! I got up. I was like, no. That business is disallowed. It's making a mockery of the human body, and the body is the temple. Remember that, temple to God. And I walked out after chastising them, But anyway, I'm getting out a lot more now at the basement. But back to Zhilei and Big Joe. Yeah, JoJo Smith is exposed, man. And I was rated him, and I made a lot of money on him. But I would have made a lot of money on him losing. Well, £200. Decent money, but yeah, it's just like, he had a sword thrust in him. It was very one-sided. I don't know what the judges were thinking, and Steve Bunce kept on going, oh, I've got Joe winning that round, I've actually got him ahead. He's such a muppet. He does know about boxing, so he should know better, but like anyone can be bought. Like Joe would just throw loads and loads of shots, and every single one just about would land on Zhang's gloves. How can you can't score? Oh, his work rate. Doesn't matter if you're not landing. Yeah, the power shots, the accurate shots. were coming. What's it called? The ones that were causing destruction and damage were coming from the Big Bang. Bunce, that fat, disgusting idiot, putting big barrels in the battles of Ugandan hookers, poor Ugandan hookers. And every time you see him, think about that. Five of them, five barrels, 5 hookers, and a Polaroid. That's a good name. I might have to do a video. Five big barrels, 5 Ugandan hookers, and a Polaroid story. Yeah. Fuck him. It was good to see Zhang. Like I said, I hope he went out, because he didn't take any damage, so he must have been up for a party, and went up to Chinatown and partied with the Chinese guys who would have been going nuts because they would have bet on him. Big Bang, he's number one, People say Chinese people don't have a lot of charisma. And some people say they like bug people. They're just all the same. And sometimes, I've seen some weird videos. You get all them death videos. And sometimes, the people have been smashed by a car and the guy just look over, carry on walking about his business. No empathy. It's quite weird, but, I don't know, man. It's a cultural thing probably, but, And obviously, the exception was Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee obviously had a lot of charisma. By the bucket load, the mystique, But Zhang had charisma as well. He was funny. Even though he hardly any English, he could still be quite funny. Chop, shit, get zanged. And he starts talking about banging everybody, and I don't think he really understood that had sexual connotations, but he makes some good jokes turning up to Joyce's camp, and it might be set up. But whatever, man, he had charisma. He was a likeable guy. And there was no need for fakeness. Fake beef. The stoppage, I had no real problem with it. Some people that don't know boxing would think, oh, come on, man. You could still see out the other eye. And when the doctor touched his eye, it wasn't flinching, so it didn't look like it was a fracture or anything, but you couldn't see out of it. And he really couldn't get out of the way of Zhang's left when he had 2 eyes, let alone when he had 1 eye. And he'd been wobbled, and he was being murderized. He was being murked by Zhilei, really. I thought it was very one-sided. Some people say, oh, maybe with that eye, and Joyce his work rate actually upped, and Zhang was slowing a bit. I'm like, yeah, but she still could have missed with that left, and what, you can't discount damage to someone's face. The reason his face is damaged is he's getting punched so much by the Big Bang Chinese power and accuracy. Right. So, like I said, JoJo can come back, obviously, but he is 37, but you only need 1 chance in the heavyweight division. 1 big win. In fact, you don't even need 1 big win. You can get gifted an opportunity in the heavyweight division. You remember Bert Cooper almost knocked out Evander Holyfield. He came in 2 weeks before the fight, 2 weeks notice, and almost knocked out Holyfield after Francesco Damiani had to pull out, right? So you can get a chance in a big payday, even without the win. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, time's not on his side. I don't know what I would suggest for him. You have to just... You can't go for them kind of soft fights and wait around. He's going to have to take a half-decent guy again, try and get back in the rankings. I think there's a rematch clause, which is cringe. I hate those things. They just... They just ruin boxing, especially the big heavyweights. They fight like once a year, 1.5 times a year if you're lucky. And then, so they're locked in for like 2 years with a rematch clause. Pathetic. By the way, did anyone spot? Look at this. Is that Sadi Khan? The mayor of London, the scumbag, the World Economic Forum stooge. Yeah, I think that's him, right? And that's his family, yo. Now that big Joe Joyce boxed for Earlsfield as an amateur. He won the ABAs as well, and the Earlsfield Boxing Club. A good boxing club. It's got Earlsfield's like Wandsworth, right, or something. And it's Earlsfield really. What am I saying? Like Earlsfield Boxing Club is run by Sadi Khan's brother. His name is Sid Khan. The one guy in amateur boxing, yeah. Stand-up guy from what I understand. His brother is the disgusting WEF snake scumbag, Sadi Khan. Yeah. So, you know, Sadiq, man, I can't stand that piece of shit. A hypocrite, liar, World Economic Forum stooge. Yeah. Anyway, I guess he went back unhappy, but that doesn't make me happy. Anyway, and that doesn't make me. I don't care about Sadiq Khan being upset. Joe, it's sweet. Joe, at the end, Joe's such a human guy. No bullshit with him. I mean, his girlfriend. I see his girlfriend. He got a nice girlfriend. That obviously he's with. He's faithful with. He's not like one of these idiot players, and they obviously have a nice relationship. She's sitting there like with her man. It's quite sweet, sorting out his what's it called. He's put his dressing gown, his top back on, and she's like trying to adjust it. Like women, they got that women thing where they care about their man and they take a little bit of lint off the guy's jumper or adjust his tie, and they show that kind of love, like caringness, and yeah, it was sweet, And he says he'll be back. Yeah, he will be back, but he's kind of been exposed. His strength might still have a chance against Usyk, actually. Joshua now becomes a more interesting fight. I had thought that the Juggernaut would just be too much for him, but it's a bit more interesting now. I'd have it. I mean, I always had it. Joshua always had a chance, but 50-50 fight, I think, is reasonable. Tyson Fury, I think, would stand him on his head, unfortunately. And there we go. Yeah. But not a bad weekend's boxing. At least that fight, At least that fight. And that's all you need. On a bill these days, you have one good fight in the main event. If that's good, just satisfied blood. Yeah, one postscript, the interesting, obviously Zhang is Chinese, that they have monolid eyes, They call it slit eyes. You're not allowed to say that these days, but it's weird because look at this picture. He hit Big Joe Juggernaut so much that it's like he almost turned Joyce Chinese. With the Chinese power, turned Joyce Chinese. # no to racism.
Hey Joe, chat shit. Got the time.
没有兵上当，都没有心。